Wake up, Philadelphia. The landscape of the NFL is shifting right beneath our feet, and the Eagles are standing directly at the epicenter of a seismic decision. Sources are buzzing, phones are ringing off the hook, and what we are hearing right now changes everything for the 2026 campaign. This isn't just about one player. This is about the soul of our offensive line and the protection of our franchise quarterback. We are talking about legacy, durability, and a choice that defines the championship window. Buckle up, because the news coming out of the NovaCare complex is absolutely massive.
Let us get straight to the facts, because the speculation has been running rampant for weeks regarding the Philadelphia Eagles. Sources confirm that Lane Johnson, the anchor, the fortress, the three-time Pro Bowler, is officially locking in his return to the Philadelphia Eagles for the 2026 season. This is not a drill, this is confirmed. When you look at the architecture of a Super Bowl contender, it starts in the trenches. Adam Schefter would tell you that retaining a veteran of this caliber provides the statistical stability required for a top-5 offense. But let me tell you what this really means. This is about dominance. This is about looking at the rest of the NFC East and saying, you are not getting past us. Lane Johnson isn't just a body on the line, he is a security blanket for the entire offense. When Lane plays, the winning percentage skyrockets. That is a documented fact. The man is a wall. He shuts down elite edge rushers like they are practice squad rookies. To have him commit to 2026 means the front office can breathe. It means the playbook stays wide open. We are talking about a guy who has battled injuries, battled critics, and come out on top every single time. The disrespect he sometimes gets is blasphemous. But now, he's back. He's ready, and he's telling the world that he is not done hunting for rings. This decision sends a shockwave through the locker room. It tells the young guys that the standard is the standard. It tells the coaching staff that they do not have to scramble to find a replacement in the draft. Do you understand how hard it is to find an elite right tackle in this league? It is nearly impossible. You don't just walk into the draft and pick up a Lane Johnson. You develop him, you cherish him, and you keep him until the wheels fall off. And clearly the wheels are still spinning at maximum velocity. This is a victory for the front office, a victory for the coaching staff, and a massive victory for every fan who understands the game of football. However, do not think for 1 second that this was an easy road. There were conversations, there were doubts. The physical toll of this game is no joke, and for a veteran to say yes to another year of grinding in the trenches, it takes a special kind of mentality. But here's the thing that keeps me up at night. While we are celebrating this massive return, while we are popping the champagne for the offensive line stability, there is a whisper in the hallway. There is a murmuring about what this actually cost us and what it means for the salary cap flexibility moving forward. Is this the move that saves us, or is it the move that prevents us from fixing the other glaring holes on this roster?
Listen, if you want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about the Eagles, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Do not miss a single update as we break down every move. Join the family today. Now, let us pivot to the elephant in the room regarding this critical roster decision. While I am sitting here screaming about the greatness of Lane Johnson, the reality on the streets of Philadelphia is a little more complicated. Reports indicate that this decision has divided opinions, and quite frankly, I understand why. We have a segment of the fan base looking at the calendar and looking at the birth certificate. Father Time is undefeated. He has never lost a match. And when you commit to a veteran tackle for the 2026 season, you are gambling against the inevitable decline of the human body. The analytics department is crunching the numbers right now. They are looking at snap counts, recovery times, and the efficiency rating of linemen over the age of 35. It is a risky business. Some of you are worried that we are holding on to the past instead of building for the future. I hear you. I hear the concern. You are asking if this money could have been spent on a younger, faster, more explosive edge rusher. You are asking if we are delaying the rebuild of the offensive line by 1 year too many. It is a valid question. However, let me counter that with some insider perspective. The coaching staff values continuity over potential. They know that a rookie, no matter how talented, is going to make mistakes. They are going to miss assignments. Lane Johnson does not miss assignments. But the division in opinion is real. The beat writers are questioning the longevity. The radio hosts are debating the cap hit. This is the nature of the beast in the NFL. Every decision has a consequence.
If Lane gets injured in Week 4 of the 2026 season, everyone who is cheering today will be screaming for the general manager's head tomorrow. That is the volatility of this market. We are walking a tightrope between contending for a Super Bowl and becoming a retirement home for legends. It is a fine line. And let me be clear, Lane Johnson knows this. He hears the noise. He reads the headlines. He knows that he has to perform at an all-pro level to justify this return. If he slips even a little bit, the vultures will circle. The pressure on him for 2026 is going to be heavier than any weight he lifts in the gym. He is not just playing for the Eagles, he's playing for his legacy. He's playing to prove that he is an outlier, an anomaly, a freak of nature who can defy the aging curve. But as we dissect the pros and cons of this massive roster move, we have to look at the domino effect. This isn't just about one position. This decision triggers a chain reaction that impacts the entire offensive scheme. And that brings me to a terrifying realization. If the offensive line is set, what does that mean for the play-calling aggression?
The severity of this situation cannot be overstated when we analyze the future of our franchise. We need to zoom out and look at the cascading effect of Lane Johnson's return on the entire 2026 strategy. This changes the draft board completely. The scouts who were spending hundreds of hours analyzing first-round tackles can now shift their focus. This frees up capital to go after a playmaker, a defensive star, or a weapon that can blow the roof off the stadium. But here is the kicker. This puts immense pressure on the quarterback. With a veteran line confirmed, there are no more excuses, none. You cannot blame the protection, you cannot blame the pocket collapsing. The front office has pushed their chips to the center of the table and said, "We are giving you the time. Now you must deliver." This elevates the stakes for the entire organization. We are in a championship or bust mode. There is no middle ground here. When you bring back a 3-time Pro Bowler for one more ride, you are telling the locker room that the window is open right now. Not next year, not in 2 years, but right now. The emotional intensity in that building is going to be through the roof. Every practice is going to be a war. Every rep is going to matter. Lane Johnson brings an attitude, a nasty streak that permeates the entire roster. But let us not ignore the risk. If this gamble fails, if the line regresses despite the veteran presence, we are looking at a total collapse of the offensive infrastructure. That is the nightmare scenario. That is what keeps the general manager awake at 3 a.m. We are betting on history repeating itself. We are betting on greatness sustaining itself. And in the NFL, that is the most dangerous bet you can make. The margin for error is zero. The difference between a 13-win season and a wildcard exit is often the health of your tackles. So when we look at the 2026 season, it all hinges on this. It hinges on the durability of number 65. If he stands tall, we fly high. If he falters, the foundation cracks. This is the drama of the NFL. This is why we watch. It is a narrative of loyalty versus logic, of heart versus analytics. And right now, the Eagles are betting on heart. They are betting on the dog in the fight. But as we stand here today, looking at a roster that is locked and loaded, one question remains unanswered. One question looms over the franchise like a dark cloud waiting to burst. Is this truly the final ride, or are we just delaying the inevitable rebuild that could set us back for years? We are about to find out exactly what this team is made of.
This is it, Philadelphia. We are standing at the crossroads of history. The 2026 season is no longer a distant thought. It is a reality defined by this massive decision. The pieces are moving, the strategy is set, and the Eagles have made their declaration of war on the rest of the league. But I need to hear from you. Is bringing back Lane Johnson the masterstroke that leads us to the promised land? Or is it a sentimental mistake that will cost us in the long run? I want you to flood the comments. I want to see the passion. We are in this together, through the highs and the lows. Fly, Eagles, fly. Stay tuned, because the offseason is only just heating up.